Hi, this is Dr. Johnny Liu, and today we're going to go through some more complicated Medicare cases. So this first one we have is, the question is there any way I can get Medicare? So this individual, she is 68 years old. She says she has very few work credits, and she has a spouse who is 55, who's been working his whole life, and they're currently insured through his job, paying nothing for great health insurance, and unfortunately, he just learned that he's going to be laid off because they're outsourcing his department to an overseas vendor. So unfortunately, this is happening a lot. A lot of companies are doing layoffs around this time, AI, outsourcing, and we're seeing hundreds of people at companies, even at smaller companies, get laid off at a time. And she's wondering, what are some options for health insurance? She's got COBRA, which can cover her for 18 months. Again, COBRA is the ability to continue her current coverage, although she's going to be paying for it 100% plus a small admin fee. So this is going to be $3,000 a month for both of them. Or potentially she's looking at ACA, which is the Affordable Care Act, not so affordable at $2,200 per month, although it's not a very good plan, according to her. And also she says, I find the information on Social Security and Medicare websites a bit confusing. Can I qualify for Medicare through my spouse? What do I do about COBRA? And do I need to sign up for Part A? And for Part A for me, it looks like it's going to cost $500 or more a month. So again, a more complicated scenario, but can be very straightforward if we break it down into each individual piece. So let's start with her first. So she's 68 years old. She's married. She's got a spouse that's worked 40 quarters or about 10 years and have paid into the Medicare system. So for her, most likely, she will be able to qualify for Medicare Part A at no cost based on her spouse's work history. So in this case, she's got to talk to Social Security, make sure they have the documentation in place for a premium-free Part A. And now, because she's over the age of 65, she's not going to qualify for the ACA plans, and she's also has to be really careful about COBRA because Medicare does not consider COBRA creditable coverage, which means that if she signs up for COBRA and does not sign up for Medicare Part B, COBRA can deny 80% of the claims otherwise paid for Medicare by Medicare Part B, and that's going to be her responsibility, even though she's paying that hefty $3,000 a month premium for COBRA. So for her, what we would typically have folks do in this situation, again, this is just purely informational, not specific advice, is make sure that she can have Part A at no cost based on her husband's work history, and then sign up for Medicare Part B, pay that Part B premium. Roughly, it's going to be about $185. And then it's going to be higher if she has higher income, and then look at either a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan. If she's got a supplement plan, make sure she gets a Part D prescription plan to avoid any penalties. So on the supplemental plan plus Part D side, she's going to be running it at about $400 a month, roughly. With Part B, supplement, and Part D, again, prices can really vary depending on where she is. And then Medicare Advantage, the cost is going to be lower on a monthly basis, roughly that $185 Part B premium, but she's going to have higher copays when she needs to go to the doctors. But definitely a lot cheaper than what it's going to be for her under the ACA plans, and the copays, no matter which way she goes, is going to be a lot lower than the ACA plans. And then for her husband, since he's under 65, unless he's disabled, he's not going to qualify for Medicare. So he's going to have to consider either going on ACA plan or COBRA. But since she's not going to be going on COBRA and just he's going to be on COBRA, the premium should be much lower. It should be on a single COBRA rate, not the family COBRA rate. So most likely his COBRA is going to be somewhere around that $1,000, $1,500 mark for good insurance, what they consider good insurance. And he's going to be able to have that for 18 months unless he finds another job in the interim. And then also he can look at ACA plans. In our experience, the ACA plans, if you don't qualify for tax credits or if you don't qualify for Medicaid, these plans can be more expensive. These plans, especially for folks that are in their 50s, 60s, that's where things are going to be really expensive because with ACA, things are going to be rated based on age. So the older you are, the more expensive it's going to be. And most of the ACA plans that we're seeing do have higher deductibles. They're going to have $1,500, $5,000, $6,000 deductibles, and you're still going to be paying those premiums. So again, if somebody does not qualify for any tax credits because their income is over the threshold, then they're really going to be in a tough place, because he's going to be paying about anywhere from $10,000 to $18,000 on average for healthcare, no matter which way he looks. And so the better way to do it is if he can get another position, get another employer that's going to pay for some employer coverage and maybe carry her, and she can look at Medicare options to see which ones are better. And if he ends up getting a job, maybe she's going to be better off still on Medicare versus jumping back on another employer plan. So that's what we would typically recommend with situations with Medicare, and even with a lot of times ACA, is to look at individual needs and to take a look at, with Medicare, it's only individual coverage, so you can break that apart. She can be on Medicare, he can be on COBRA or ACA. So that's really the way to look at it when somebody's Medicare eligible.